Welcome to Banfield. Get ready for mass overdose events right across the United States of America. A frightening and frankly shocking warning to all of us from the U.S. Drug Enforcement Detachment today. They sent out an alarming letter to every federal, state, and local law enforcement agency warning them about a nationwide spike in drug overdoses and alerting them to an unprecedented rate that Americans are dying. And it is all due to a dangerous secret ingredient being added to drugs that many of us already take. Pills that have flooded the market and look exactly like the prescription drugs you might have in your home right now. The secret ingredient making its way into these pills is fentanyl. I know you've probably heard about it before. It is the drug that killed celebrities like Tom Petty and Prince and the actor Michael K. Williams. The CDC says in a one-year period, more than 105,000 Americans died of drug overdoses, and about two-thirds of them were because of the synthetic opioids like fentanyl. That is more than all gun and auto deaths combined. But there seems to be a new trend with fentanyl. The government says ODs are about to get worse. This week, officials announced the arrest of two alleged traffickers in Orange County, California, who had enough fentanyl to kill 4.7 million people. That is more than the entire population of Orange County, which is only 3 million people. And the national numbers, they are even more worrisome. Last year alone, the DEA seized more than 15,000 pounds of fentanyl. And if you're wondering, that is enough to kill every single American. Let that sink in. That's nearly 330 million people. And the reason for this is that fentanyl is unbearably potent. It takes just 2 milligrams of fentanyl to kill the average person. 2 milligrams. That amount can fit on the tip of a sharpened pencil. This year, the feds have already seized more than 2,000 pounds of fentanyl. And may I remind you, it is only April, and that's just what they seized. So imagine how much more fentanyl has slipped through the cracks, or will slip through the cracks, into our communities. Now, you might be thinking, I would never take fentanyl. This doesn't apply to me. Well, guess what? The people who overdosed on it did not know they were taking it either. The dealers are increasingly spiking counterfeit pills with fentanyl. This year alone, the DEA has seized more than 1 million counterfeit pills. They are pills that are made to look like pills we know well: OxyContin, Percocet, Vicodin, Adderall, and Xanax, even, and I hope you're sitting down, Tylenol. Fentanyl is up to 100 times stronger than morphine, and the dealers hope that by slipping it into these pills, they can get people hooked so that they'll keep buying the drugs. And if you think you can spot a counterfeit pill, I have a little test for you. On your screen, 2 photos of Xanax pills. One is real, a prescription drug used to treat depression and anxiety, and the other one is a counterfeit pill made with enough fentanyl to kill you. So which one's which? The yellow pill, if you said so, that is the counterfeit one. So you'd be correct if you chose the yellow one. But let's try this little exercise with 2 other pills. Again, they both look like oxycodone. That's a painkiller described by doctors regularly across the country. So which one is safe to take? If you picked either of them, you are wrong and you could be dead. They are both counterfeit and both contain fentanyl. But as you can see, they look virtually identical to the real prescription pills. The grave concern for the DEA right now, high school and college kids who are buying what they believe to be prescription drugs online, only to discover much too late that they have been sold a lethal amount of fentanyl instead. I want to bring in 3 people who unfortunately know about this topic all too well. 2 of them lost children to fentanyl overdoses, and the other co-founded an organization called Mothers Against Drug Deaths because of her daughter's experiences with drug use. Michelle Leopold, Gina McDonald, and Amanda Eubanks, thank you all 3 for being here. And I am so sorry that it's under these circumstances. I certainly hope that the conversation we're about to have is going to help a lot of other people to know what the experiences are and maybe learn something and protect themselves. So Amanda, if I can begin with you, I'd love it if you could just share with me what happened to 13-year-old Luca Manuel. That's your son.
Yes. Luca had spoken with a Snapchat dealer several times, and he gained his trust by selling him marijuana. And then my son was offered a Percocet, and unfortunately, it wasn't a Percocet at all, but pure fentanyl. There was no Percocet in the tablet whatsoever.
And Luca didn't survive, did he?
No, he was found unresponsive in his room.
So, Amanda, it's a story we are hearing far too frequently across this country. Michelle, are there any similarities to your son, 18-year-old Trevor, and what happened to him?
Absolutely. Trevor had a similar story. However, he had started smoking marijuana when he was 15 years old and became addicted, so much so that he actually got a cannabis use disorder diagnosis. And he ended up dying in his dorm room as a freshman at Sonoma State, California, in November of 2019 from a blue 30, now better known as dirty 30, I understand, which had a lethal dose of fentanyl in it as well.
And once again, he had no idea that this dirty 30 was a fentanyl pill?
That's a good question. It's a possibility that he was, because he was addicted. Mostly marijuana is his drug was his drug of choice. So he was trying other drugs, but he kept on going back to pot. But I believe he was looking for a higher high, and he's not here to answer the question, did you know that the drug that you bought was likely containing fentanyl?
And this is what the Drug Enforcement Agency is trying to get the message out about. Most kids don't. They think they might be taking an innocent perk, which isn't innocent, but they might think it is, or an Oxy, or Xanax, or something like that. So, Gina, tell me a little bit about your daughter, Sam. She survived her drug experiences, but walk me through your world when it comes to this.
Yeah, so my daughter is 24 years old. She too started in high school smoking weed. And I don't know that so much it was an addiction, but I mean, I considered normal drug use. After high school, she moved on to cocaine. We put her into treatment, rehab. We thought she was doing well. We put her in a SLE, which is a sober living environment, where she came in contact with heroin and relapsed with heroin and was out on the street using heroin mixed with fentanyl just up until 4 months ago, where she is now back in treatment, and we're hoping all goes well.
I hope so too. I'm sure everybody on this panel feels the same way, that we're really praying for you and your family. Amanda, your story, you did everything right with 13-year-old Luca. You did everything right. You discovered the marijuana use. You got counseling for him, which not a lot of parents would do right away. I mean, you seem to have done, extraordinary steps to try to protect your little boy. What message do you have for the rest of us out there who we really don't know how to navigate this?
Well, I mean, like you said, I did everything right. We did get him into counseling and we did all the things, but we did not know that illicit fentanyl was in the drug supply, or that it was so readily available on Snapchat. I mean, we had no idea. And that's why I share his story. We talked to him about his marijuana use, and we explained brain synapses and all of the things to discourage him from even doing that. But now, the paradigm has shifted. So I really encourage parents to have open, honest conversations with their children about fentanyl poisoning and the true dangers of doing drugs. Because now it's being found in everything. And there's no safe bet unless it's from a pharmacy or a dispensary. And children can't usually get drugs from either of those places. So
Yeah, and there is also something that a lot of people who are, say, over the age of 40 or 50 might not realize, and that is that the marijuana today is not the marijuana of yesteryear. It's certainly not the marijuana of the 70s, 80s, or 90s. It's, some people might call it the gateway, but a lot of other people are saying it's actually the red carpet, because it is just so incredibly strong. And it's been said, and I've heard it tonight, looking for the bigger high. So, Michelle, what do you think is the answer with regard to this? Because pot's being legalized in a lot of places, and I'm not here to come on the air and say one thing or the other about that political debate. A lot of people would say alcohol is far more deadly, but we are talking about our children, and particularly your children. So, Michelle, give me your thoughts on that.
Thanks, Ashleigh. When Trevor first became addicted, then I immediately set out because his actions around marijuana was not what I remembered the stoners in high school to be. He was not laid back. He was not calm, cool, mellow. And it was when he was coming down from this high potency THC that he really became out of control. And I learned that the pot from when I was in college or high school was 2 to 4% THC. And today's regular marijuana is 10 to 25%, just a joint, the flower. And if you get the high potency dab or shatter or butter or even some vape cartridges, it can go up from 75 to 99% THC. So this is nothing compared to what our pot was when we were in high school. And similarly, it is causing people to seek out higher highs because you're becoming used to this very, very high from just pot. And part of the problem with the legalization is it's happening faster than the science. And so the science is now proving in places like Colorado that has several years that it is harming, especially the kids. I also am happy to not get into the political debate for 25-year-olds and older, but for people under 25, it has been proven that it will affect your brain. And it's all about the youth access to the high potency THC and then leading to higher highs. And people like Luca and Trevor experimenting as teenagers do and ending up dying from one pill. So I hope that answered your question.
That's what's so difficult is hearing what the DEA is saying today. I mean, you don't usually have the DEA sending out alarming letters to every single law enforcement agency at the local, state, and federal level. I mean, this is a very big wake-up call, even though we've been hearing about fentanyl for years, even though I'm sure people know fentanyl is more, deadly than heroin. They know the stats. They've heard the stats. But to hear that there are these mass overdose events that we should be expecting across the country, it's just overwhelming. And then to know that these counterfeit pills are so hard to determine. Gina, I want to ask you about your daughter, Sam, and if she's been able to help you navigate a little bit about the tricks of the trade, especially for parents who are wondering, well, how am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to figure out if I've got stamped counterfeit oxy pills in my kid's pencil case, or if they're really, laced with something lethal? There's so many questions in that question, but where do we even start?
Right. So going back to what you were saying 1 second ago, Ashleigh, we're talking about these mass overdose events, and where I'm from, in the San Francisco Bay Area, we are having 2 people a day die from overdose on the street. And in January and February, 98 people have overdosed. And yes, these are addicts on the street, like my daughter was. But our local governments are doing nothing. We have whole areas of the city that are being run by drug dealers. I'm a recovering addict myself. My daughter's tricks, yes, she has helped me. She wasn't so much into the pills. She went straight to the heroin. She knew what she was doing. This was not a poisoning for her, but she did not intentionally do fentanyl. Fentanyl was laced into her heroin. So, I mean, it's rampant. It is everywhere, and we need to ask more of our government. Here we are pushing our California government and our mayor to shut down the open drug market, and we need help. We need help. We need education.
I mean, it's a big ask, right? It's a big ask. Help us shut down the open drug market. I mean, you know, back in the 80s, there was a campaign, a war on drugs, and a just say no, and here we are.
You know, but it shouldn't be a big ask. It shouldn't be a big ask to arrest dealers on the street that are selling death. It really shouldn't be a big.
Let me ask you, Amanda, if you can jump in here as well with this. You mentioned Snapchat. And this is something that I was unaware of, that a lot of kids are actually buying their illicit drugs through Snapchat. How convenient that the messages disappear. But social media is now not just a concern for our kids' mental health and bullying and possible suicide. It's now a concern for drug dealing.
For their health and their life. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I didn't know until I lost Luca that it was being used for something so nefarious. I never thought that any child should have an encrypted app to begin with. But my son was allowed, and I felt bad taking it away because then mom's the bad guy again. I wish I had more than anything. But not long after Luca died, a young lady in the community, I had posted on my Facebook, right, about believing that the dealer that sold to Luca was grooming him to be an addict. And a young lady in the community reached out to me, and she said, that's absolutely true. I used to buy from the same dealer. I only bought marijuana, and every single time I tried to buy from him, he would offer me perks. So, and she said that the menus just come up. You don't have to necessarily look for it because they're shared over and over and over again. So even kids that would not normally be exposed to it are seeing these menus for drugs.
When you say menus, you literally mean take a look at this menu and pick your poison. Honestly, it's like
Yes.
it's like the kind of, it's like a meme that's shared with a lot of people.
It is absolutely a menu, and it has all the little emojis that mean all the different things. You know, if you want ice, it's going to be a snowflake, and you know, all of the different things. And they may seem innocent or innocuous to somebody who doesn't know what they're looking at, but for everyone else, yeah, they're menus of drugs.
You know what, Amanda? I'd like you to just go a little further with that. I know it's probably hard to do from memory, but whatever you can remember, just tell our viewers what other emojis should we take another look at if we just happen to see it in our kids' communications? You said the snowflake means ice. Do you remember some of the other emojis that stand for other drugs?
There are a few. There are, of course, the pill emojis. I mean, there are pill emojis in existence. And then you have, you know, the leaves for weed, trees, anything like that, all along those lines. I don't have them memorized. I've avoided Snapchat and just, you know,
Understandably.
received menus and such from people in the community that were concerned that it was still going on. My son, there was an active murder investigation, and his murderer is being held for trial. So people in the community have sent me these things because they are worried about our community, and I have it in with the police. So somebody to actually listen.
You know, and I think murder is an apt term. And in my line of work, which is covering law and crime, it's sometimes been so difficult to pin murder on these dealers because there is the chain of custody that is sometimes extraordinarily hard just to prove in a court of law, even though we all feel it in our bones. We know it
Absolutely.
when we see it. Just getting that proof of the pudding can be so incredibly difficult. Let me ask you, Michelle, about that, though. Our viewers might be saying, why on earth would a dealer stamp a counterfeit pill with a lethal amount of fentanyl? They're killing their customers. So sort of that paradox just doesn't seem to make sense. What's the answer there?
So they're not trying to kill their customers. They're trying to get their customers to become addicted. And I have heard this over and over. They thought they were getting a Percocet, and then 4 hours later, they're calling to get another Percocet because they're dope sick. They're coming down and they need more fentanyl. So they're not, the problem is the kids, first of all, aren't acclimated to high doses of drugs. So if a kid is getting what a person that regularly uses pills, if they're getting that same amount, then that's when they will likely have fentanyl poisoning. We call it that. We don't call it fentanyl overdose, especially for the young teenagers, because they aren't attempting. Oh, perfect. That's exactly the decoder
There
that
it
I
is.
was
We
looking
just
for.
found it. We just found it. We wanted to put it up so that our audience could see. This is called the drug decoder. It's from the DEA. And then you can see the little emojis. I recommend that our viewers right now who are looking at this screen, grab your phone, take a picture of this, and then study, because that's a lot of information to take in all at once and memorize. And I think we all really would do well to memorize these icons. Look at the parking one for Percocet. Who would have thought? Listen, Michelle Leopold, Gina McDonald, and Amanda Eubanks, I cannot thank you all enough for the bravery in coming out publicly and talking about this. I think it's extraordinarily helpful to me as the mom of teenagers, and I think to a lot of, there could be grandparents watching right now who are absorbing this information as well. And again, I said at the beginning of the show, it's not just kids that the DEA is warning about right now. This is just cross-cultural, socioeconomic, everything. Thank you to all three of you. I'm wishing you prayers and healing and success in the road ahead as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashleigh.
Thank you.
And if you're, want to drill down, read a little bit more about this, you can check out the latest issue of People magazine. It's coming onto the newsstands nationwide tomorrow. And it's got some very interesting coverage. This is the fascinating story, the faces of the fentanyl epidemic. And I urge you, look at those faces, and somewhere in there, you will find yourself or someone, in your family, somebody who is just so similar. And that's why this is such a tragic crisis. Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.